everyone, Kathleen Flanagan here, and I want to talk again about messages we receive from Spirit. I was coming home from Cortez, Colorado on Saturday, this past Saturday, and I was the only one on the highway pretty much because it was 7 o'clock in the morning and it was Saturday and and this is a highly touristed area anyways. And what I noticed is that there was a woman who was following me all the way up until I was halfway home. And I thought once I pulled in the gas station, she would be on her way, but she didn't. She actually pulled off the road and waited for me. I get back on the road. I thought she was behind me. Turned out it wasn't her. It was somebody else. And I get into Salida and traffic's picking up and I can't seem to get away from the traffic. So, and I had to go to the bathroom again. So I decided to pull off the road to go to the bathroom. And what was interesting is when I pulled off, I could see that there was going to be a lot of traffic going through the next couple of hours on the road and you'd have to pass, and I'm in the mountains. And that's not always a fun thing to do when you're in the mountains because it's a 2-lane highway. So when I got out of the bathroom and got back in my car to go, for the next 2 hours, I was the only one pretty much on the road, and I loved it. I didn't have to pass anyone. I didn't have to deal with slow drivers. I didn't have to do anything. Get into Fairplay, and all of a sudden, here's this huge traffic jam, and all these people that were there before I pulled off the road I caught up to them. And I was not dawdling by any stretch of the imagination when I was on the road. Anyways, I decided I was going to start passing because I was the back of the pack and I didn't want to be in the back of the pack. And I started passing, and what was interesting is then other people were starting to pass too instead of being a sheeple and just sitting there and saying, oh, I'm just kind of stuck like this for the next couple of hours. So I start passing people. Then I get into Conifer and I'm passing a whole group of people in the passing lane and my car stalls and it just dead stops. I noticed the battery light came on, I put it in park, and I took off. So I was happy about that, but it was still very disconcerting that I'm in a passing lane and I'm dead in the water, so people had to get around me. So what ended up happening, and then on Monday I took my car in because I was getting new brakes anyways, and I told my mechanic what had happened and then to check anything with the car because I'm on the road so much right now. Turns out that my stabilizer pins were broken that were holding the car together from the front stabilizer, and don't know how that broke, but it did. And then the battery was overcharging. It was at like 15.2 to 15.8 volts, and it should be around 12 to 14. And I thought, wow. So that we knew that was the alternator. So what I ended up realizing out of all of this was, first of all, I'm trying to come out and be visible. And through the visibility, I chose to get out from behind the pack and pass people. And as I was passing people, people were following me. People wanted to follow me because I was being followed all the way home. And it was really strange to me because usually you don't see that in the mountains like this. The other thing that came out of this too was that the stabilizer was broken, which I kind of felt like I was like this wobbly person and kind of all over the place because of just what this is doing to my psyche. And I'm coming out of the water loss that I had, and I'm still working on getting the bathroom finished, hopefully next week. And then I had the battery. It was overcharging, which is kind of how I was feeling, was a little overcharged. Not overwhelmed, just overcharged, like my energy was just like too much. And so what I realized with this is that, I'm not feeling stable, or I wasn't, I do now, but I had to realize I wasn't feeling stable and that I was on an energetic overload. And if I didn't stop on the energetic overload, then I would have blown up my car, which would have been my body, because your car is representative of your body and the battery is your energy level. So if your battery, you go to work one day and your car's not starting and you're exhausted, guess what? That's what your body's telling you is I'm not going to go because your car is representing that. So what was interesting was that I had to realize this. And as I realized all of this, and it was spirit, because I had a feeling something was coming in anyways, and I couldn't quite pinpoint what it was. And that's what it was. So it showed up within 2 weeks that all of this came out to be. So I just wanted to let you know that it's the simplest things in the world is how you receive a message. And it's like, are you paying attention? Anyways, that's all I have for now. I am giving away 2 free chapters of my book, Dancing Souls, and I also have a chakra meditation I'm giving away for free. Love to hear from you. Bye, everyone.